Everybody, and welcome back to another video on the West Ham Way YouTube channel. It's no secret that West Ham are in need of a midfielder this summer, not just the number 6 role, not just the Declan Rice replacement, but Moyes is also after a number 8. Now, whether that's going to be an upgrade on Thomas Souček, an understudy, or just simply someone he wants to integrate into the team, it's not clear yet, but it's very clear that David Moyes wants another number 8. And he's identified quite a few targets. Alex Scott has been one, James Ward-Prowse. But in the last couple of days, in the midst of the Paulinho bid and the Maguire loan offer getting rejected, 3 players have come out at West Ham for West Ham United as targets for the club. The first one we're going to talk about is Yousof Fofoan. He plays for Monaco, 24 years of age. He's your classic number 8, basically. He's your classic number 8. Very balanced, young, energetic, good on the ball. I wouldn't say he's as good going forward as maybe some of the other options that we've got. But as a young player who I think has a very high glass ceiling and is wanted by a number of clubs, I certainly think he's someone that Tim Steidten has highlighted as an option for David Moyes. The only issue with him, as it always seems to be the issue, is that he doesn't have any Premier League experience. So whether we would actually take a punt on him or not, we're not really sure at this point. Obviously, Moyes wants Premier League proven players. He doesn't want the same transitional period that we had last year, where we were sat with a team that took a while to get going in the league. So I think he might be put off for going for a player like Fofana. However, he is in the French league, and we know that Moyes does love to tap into the French market. So he's probably someone that I think we will make a move for at some point. The other player as well is Leon Goretzka of Bayern Munich. Now, this is said to be quite unlikely to happen, but Tim Steidten has, again, highlighted him as a player that David Moyes could pursue this window. Now, the situation with him is quite interesting because the club wants to sell him. Tuchel wants a new number 6, and he wants to stay. He wants to be a Bayern Munich player. He has no interest really in going to another club. So instantly, to me, that is a little bit of a red flag. You don't want to agree a deal with a club and then bring a player who potentially doesn't actually really want to play for you. He doesn't seem too keen to play for West Ham, and also there's not a lot of lure for us. You know, he'll be dropping Champions League football for Europa League football, a smaller stadium, probably be on lower wages as well if he signed for us, and the fees between 40 and 50 million euros. So, you know, we're talking a fair bit of money to price someone away from Bayern Munich, and he's also 30 years of age. Now, I know age is a bit of a sensitive subject. You know, people do tend to write off players if they're simply, above like 28. But I think if you're spending 40, 50 million euros on a player who's 30 years of age, I don't think that's smart business for us at the moment. I think we need to invest in younger players. We've got quite an aging squad as it is already. So I definitely think we need to be turning our attention to younger talents. And a younger talent that we are interested in is Conor Gallagher. Now, he is somebody that we did look at last season, but he wanted to sit there and fight for his place at Chelsea. They've signed players. They're looking to sign other players as well. So we don't believe that he's in the plans for Mauricio Pochettino for Chelsea come this summer. He would be available between 25 and 35 million. And it is also said that apparently he can imagine himself being a West Ham player. Now, I'm not sure exactly what context that means. I'm not sure exactly what that entails. But it is thought that he is a player who would be keen to come to West Ham United should the opportunity arise. Now, of all the 3 players, he is probably my go-to. I think you've got a young English talent. I think he's 23 years of age, coming up through the system. The way he played for Crystal Palace is exactly what we need. A player with an engine on him. Declan Rice is somebody that would just run non-stop all game, had an absolute engine on him, would never stop running, and would cover a lot of distance on the pitch. And I think Gallagher is somebody who can sort of fulfill that engine role, you know, playing that number 8 role. He's the perfect box-to-box midfielder in my eyes. You know, he's got a lot of stamina. He runs well. He's got a brilliant shot on him. He's got an eye for goal. He knows how to run through on goal. He's got a great pass on him as well. Defensively, I think he can use a little bit of work. That's probably not his strongest part of his game, but don't get me wrong, he can put in a tackle or two. He's very good defensively. And if we're going for a proper number 6, as we've outlined this season, then I don't think you need to worry too much about his defensive capabilities. We've seen Paqueta, and he can be quite good going sort of being defensively. So I think out of all of the 3 midfield options I've just mentioned, he's definitely probably my preferred option. Yousof Fofoan for me is he's an interesting player, and I think for the fee of around 30 million, which I think is quite a good fee, I'd certainly rather spend 30 million on him than say like 35, 40 million on James Ward-Prowse, that's for sure. So he is someone that I think we'll have a lot of competition for, someone that Steiden is very, very keen for us to go for. But I just, the Premier League quality, whether he's Premier League quality, is a little bit of a risk for me. I also think if Onana was available for like 35 million, 40 million, I'd much rather sort of go for him over Yousof Fofana. I think they're quite similar players, strong, powerful. Obviously, Onana is a lot better in that sort of sense because he's taller and obviously he's better aerially. And then obviously got Goretzka, who, to be honest, was one of the best in his position at times in his career. I don't think he will play number 6 for us. I imagine he would play the number 8 role. I don't really think he suits the number 6 role. Obviously, he had to sort of take that role with the whole Kimmich situation. And Bayern have said they want a new number 6. So I do rate him as a player, don't get me wrong. I actually was quite surprised to see us go for him because I think he's at times world class. But 30 years of age, 40, 50 million pounds, I just don't think that's what West Ham need to be doing at the moment, especially when we have young, energetic players such as like Freddie Potts. I think why would you spend 40, 50 million pounds on a DM like him when you could try and chuck Freddie Potts in there and strengthen in other areas of our squad, such as, Harvey Barnes or the fullbacks, etc. You might only get him for 4 or 5 years, and I just don't think that's necessarily smart business, especially when you've got Flynn Downs in there as well, who's 24 years of age. There's no need to try and sign someone like that. Of course, though, he would be an instant upgrade on Souček, which is, in my eyes, what Moyes is going to do. I really hope that this is to replace Souček and not just become an understudy for Paqueta. Fornals has been playing a lot in the midfield in pre-season. I think he's really, really impressed. I would actually sell Fornals, not Fornals, sorry, I would actually sell Souček if it was up to me. And then obviously the final person, Conor Gallagher, the obvious candidate. He's, homegrown English player, which, does attribute to things. You need English players in your squad. He's got a great engine on him. I think he's got the right attitude as well. He wants to do well. He gave his all for Crystal Palace when he was on loan there. It kind of makes sense. I thought we would go in for him last summer. We didn't really put a very concrete effort into signing him simply because he was so interested in trying to put himself in that Chelsea lineup. But now that I think he knows that his place is going to be at another club, I think we'll have strong competition. I think from people like Crystal Palace. I'd be surprised if they didn't go for him this summer, considering the successful loan spell we had. But I think we will have interest from other clubs, so it might be a little bit of a bidding war going on for him. But if he's interested in coming to play for us, then I see no reason why not. It's quite rare these days you actually find someone who, you come along with the project of West Ham and they're instantly saying, yeah, no, I'm actually really, really interested by that project and I would come and play for you guys. Almost the players don't really seem to come out and say that to us. So, yeah, it's clear that Moyes wants a midfielder this summer. And out of those 3, who would you sign? Would you sign any of them? Obviously, my choice, like I said, is Gallagher, second Goretzka. Don't know enough about Fofana, to be honest. He seems like a player that is a bit of a risk. But yeah, which of the 3 midfield options do you think we should go for? Do you think we'll sign a midfielder this summer? I'll see you in the next one.